Good morning, students. I am Professor Vishnu Prasad here. So today I am going to teach the subject ATD Module 5, Class 5 it is. So in the last class we have solved some problems on two-stage air compressor without clearance volume. So today we are going to, this is the last class. So in this class we are going to solve some more problems on two-stage air compressor with the clearance volume. Okay, so let us start with the first problem. So it is given that a two-stage compressor delivers 2.2 meter cube of free air per minute. The pressure and temperature of air at the suction are 1 bar and 25 degrees centigrade. The pressure at delivery is 55 bar. The clearance volume for both the cylinders is 5% of swept volume. Assuming perfect intercooling between two stages, is asking to find the minimum power required when the speed of the compressor is 210 rpm and if the stroke of both the cylinders are equal to the dia of the LP cylinder. Is also asking to find the diameter and stroke of LP and HP cylinder, and he has given the index value as 1.3. So if you look into the diagram here, okay, so the process 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 1 is nothing but your LP cylinder, the compression that is taking place in the LP cylinder. So 1 to 2 compression takes place and 2 to 5 cooling takes place. Okay, and next 5 to 6 again compression takes place in the HP cylinder and 6 to 7 delivery takes place. So since he is saying a perfect intercooling, so if you look into the diagram here, 2 to 5 the cooling is taking place. So after cooling, the temperature at 0.5 will be equivalent to the temperature of the suction conditions, that is T1 will be equivalent to T5. Okay, so here the clearance volume is same is given for both the cylinders. So if you look into the PV diagram here, the point 7 and 3 fall on the same line with respect to the volume, that is the clearance volume. So that is clearance volume VC is same for both the cylinders. So I already explained that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 is nothing but your LP cylinder, 5, 6, 7, 8 is nothing but your HP cylinder. So if you look into the diagram, the clearance volume is same for both the cylinders is saying. So 7 and 3 will be falling in the same line. So from that is nothing but your clearance volume VC. So from that point, from that vertical line to the point 1 is nothing but the swept volume of the LP cylinder. It is given as VS1. Okay. Now from 3 to 0.5, from 0.3 to 0.5 is nothing but the swept volume of the HP cylinder. It is given by VS2. If you look here, that is VS1 and VS2. Okay. So now coming to the point, he has asked to find the minimum power required. So the minimum power is given by, for two-stage cylinder, it is nothing but 2n by n minus 1 P1 into VA. Instead of taking V1, we have to take VA because it is, the problems are based on the, with respect to the clearance volume. So actual volume of the air taken we have to take, that is VA. And in the bracket, it is nothing but delivery pressure by suction pressure to the power of n minus 1 by 2n minus 1. So n value he has given, actual volume of the air taken also he has given, it is 2.2 meter cube per minute. So divide by 60 to convert into meter cube per second. So if you solve it, you will going to get the power required, minimum power required is 18.68 kilowatts. So now he has asked to calculate the cylinder dimensions. So he has given that dia of the LP cylinder is equivalent to stroke of LP, both LP and HP cylinders are same. Stroke of both the cylinders are equal to the dia of the LP cylinder is given. So now to calculate the dimensions, we should know what is the volumetric efficiency. So by knowing the volumetric efficiency, we can calculate the swept volume. So from the swept volume, we can calculate the cylinder dimensions. So since he has given the clearance clearance ratio, that is clearance volume is 5% of swept volume. Vc equal to 5% of Vs. We know that Vc by Vs is K. So Vc is 5% of Vs is given. So from this we are going to get Vc by Vs is equal to 5%, that is K value is 5%. So substituting this K value, we are going to get the volumetric efficiency. So in order to find the intermediate pressure, by knowing the intermediate pressure of each cylinder, then only we can calculate the volumetric efficiency. So to find the intermediate pressure P2, okay, if you look into the previous diagram, so P2 is nothing but for perfect intercooling, it is nothing but suction, square root of suction pressure to the delivery pressure. So it is P2 is equal to square root of 1 into 55. So it is 7.42 bar. So once if you get the intermediate pressure, now substituting this in the volumetric efficiency formula, that is 1 plus K minus K into P2 by P1 to the power of 1 by N. So K value he has given 5%, so it is 0.05. So substituting this K value and P2 value, we are going to get the volumetric efficiency for the first cylinder, it is 81%, that is for LP cylinder. So now volumetric efficiency can also be written as actual volume by swept volume, that is VA1 by VS1. So 0.81, VA1 is the actual volume of the air taken, he has given, it is 2.2 meter cube per minute. So 2.2 divided by swept volume is nothing but pi by 4 d1 square L1 into N into 1. So 1 indicates it is a single acting, okay, and N value speed of the compressor is given 210. So d1 square into L, so we know that L1 equal to L2, that is equal to d1. So 1 indicates, suffix 1 indicates LP cylinder, suffix 2 indicates HP cylinder. So he has given in the question that stroke of LP cylinder is equal to stroke of HP cylinder, that is also equal to bore of the LP cylinder. So that is L1 is equal to L2 is equal to D1. So now replace L1 by D1 in the above equation. So you will get D1 is equal to 0.254 meters. That is also equivalent to stroke of LP cylinder, that is L1. That is also equal to stroke of HP cylinder, that is L2. You will get 0.254 meters. Now to find the diameter of the HP cylinder, that is D2. Okay. So if you look into the diagram, it is clearly, you can see that clearance volume for both the cylinders is same, and also the pressure ratio for the are the same, since it is a perfect intercooling. The volumetric efficiency of both the compressors will be same. Volumetric efficiency of both the compressors will be same because of the perfect intercooling. So from this we can write, if you look at the diagram, that is P1 V1 will be equivalent to P5 V5 because 2 to 5 cooling is taking place. So for perfect cooling, T5 will be equivalent to T1, okay, and P2 is equivalent to P5. So from this we can write it as P1 V1 is equal to P5 V5 because the process 1 to 5 is nothing but isothermal process because the temperature remains constant. So process 1 to 5 is nothing but isothermal process. So P1 V1 will be equivalent to P5 V5. So from the diagram, V1, since the clearance volume also is same, so V1 is written as Vs1 and V5 can be written as Vs2 because both the sides clearance volume gets cancelled. So from this you will get P1 Vs1 is equal to P5 Vs2 or V5. So P1 on the left side as it is you write down, and pi by Vs1 is nothing but pi by 4 d1 square into L1, that is also equivalent to P5 pi by 4 d2 square into L2. So pi by 4 and L1 on the left side and pi by 4 L2 on the right side gets cancelled since L1 is equal to L2. So from this we will get P1 by P5 equal to P1 by P5 into D1 square is equal to D2 square. So P5 already we have found out, that is the intermediate pressure, So it is 7.42. Substitute that, and D1 already we have found out, it is 0.254 meters. So by substituting this, we are going to get the bore of the HP cylinder as 0.093 meters. Okay, so this is one important problem. So we'll go for the next problem. Okay, so in this problem he has given, it is a two-stage single acting air compressor. Air is compressed and delivered at 4 kg per minute. Okay, the pressure rises from 100 kilopascals to 2.5 megapascals. And also he has given the LP cylinder diameter is 15 centimeters, HP cylinder diameter is 7.5 centimeters, stroke length of both the cylinders are 20 centimeters. Okay, that is L1 equal to L2 is 20 centimeters. Index is 1.2. Temperature of the air at inlet is 25 degrees centigrade. Clearance volume is 4% of the swept volume, that is K value will get 4% in each cylinder. And also he is saying intercooling is perfect. So he is asking to find out the intermediate pressure, power required to drive LP and HP piston if mechanical efficiency is 75%. Okay. Speed of the crankshaft he is asking to find, and heat rejected in the intercooler he is asking to find out. So in this problem he is not given the RPM, he is asking to find out the RPM. So if you look into the diagram here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 is nothing but your LP cylinder, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 is nothing but your HP cylinder. Since the clearance volume is same, 7 and 3 will fall in the same line. Okay, and 1 to 5, since 2 to 5 cooling is taking place, 2 to 5 cooling is taking place. So the process 1 to 5 is called the isothermal process, whereas the process 1 to 2 is nothing but adiabatic compression is taking place. Okay, so from this, for perfect intercooling, like similar to the previous problem, for same clearance volume and for perfect intercooling, P1 V1 is also equivalent to P5 V5. V1 is nothing but Vs1 plus Vc, and V5 is nothing but Vs2 plus Vc. So Vc gets cancelled. So you will get P1 Vs1 is equal to P5 Vs2. So Vs1 is nothing but the swept volume of the LP cylinder. Okay, so it is nothing but pi by 4 d1 square L1. So he has given the bore and stroke. From this you are going to get the swept volume of the first cylinder as 3.53 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube. Similarly, swept volume of the second cylinder, that is HP cylinder, is nothing but pi by 4 d2 square into L2. So here also he has given the bore and stroke of the HP cylinder. So from this you will get 8.834 into 10 power minus 4 meter cube, that is the swept volume of the HP cylinder. So substituting Vs1 and Vs2 and P1, we are going to get the P5, that is Pi, it is intermediate pressure, it is 400 kilopascals. So now after the second bit he has asked to find out the power required to drive the LP and HP piston. So power required is nothing but work done divided by mechanical efficiency. Since he has given the mechanical efficiency, so the actual power required is nothing but work done divided by mechanical efficiency. So work done for LP cylinder is given by N by N minus 1, P1 V1 in the bracket P2 by P1 to the power of N minus 1 by N minus 1. So substituting the N value, and since we don't know the volume V1, but he has given the mass flow rate of the air. So P1 V1 is replaced by MRT1. So M is 4 kg per minute he has given. So 4 divided by 60 is in kg per second, into R value is 0.287, and T1 he has given 15 degrees centigrade, 25 degrees centigrade. So it is 298 degree Kelvin. So P1 V1 is replaced by MRT1, and in the bracket it is P2 by P1 to the power of N minus 1 by N minus 1. So P2 is also equivalent to P5. On intermediate pressure already we have found out, it is 400 kilopascals. So 400 by 100 to the power of 1.2 minus 1 by 1.2 minus 1. So that is the power required to drive the LP cylinder. We are going to get it as 8.89 kilowatts. So actual power required is nothing but work required to compress the air divided by mechanical efficiency. So mechanical efficiency has given it as 75%. So 8.89 divided by 0.75 gives you 11.85 kilowatts. That is the power required to drive the LP cylinder. Okay, now power required to drive the HP cylinder is nothing but work done or work required to compress the air in the HP cylinder divided by mechanical efficiency. So it is given by n minus 1. So here we know that the process starts from 5 to 6 compression, 6 to 7 delivery, and 7 to 8 free expansion. So the power required to drive in this cylinder is given by, it starts from the point 5. So it is given by n minus 1 P5 V5 in the bracket. Delivery pressure is P6 divided by P5. It is starting from P5. So it is P6 by P5 to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. So P5 V5 can also be replaced by MR T5. Okay, but T5, since it is a perfect cooling, intercooling, T5 will be equivalent to T1. So substituting the n value as 1.2 and m value as 4 kg per minute, so 4 by 60, it is kg per second. R value is 0.287 and T5 is equivalent to T1, it is 298 degree Kelvin, and in the bracket P6, that is the delivery pressure, it is 2.5 megapascals or 2500 kilopascals, divided by P5, that is intermediate pressure, we have found out it is 400 kilopascals, to the power of 1.2 minus 1 divided by 1.2 minus 1. So substituting these values, we are going to get the work done by the compressor, HP compressor, is 12.22 kilowatts. So the power required is nothing but work done divided by mechanical efficiency. It is 12.22 divided by 0.75, that is equal to 16.29 kilowatts. Okay, so that is the actual power required to compress the air. Okay, so we'll continue the problems once again.